Okay guys, here's the drawing. I've worked really basic on it since the last video ended. Really simple things. I went back in and erased a lot in the sky, trying to get something going up in there. Worked this edge a little bit, right? Put in a few directional lines in here that you can see coming down in there. Pencil over the compressed in there. Worked a little bit of charcoal pencil. I think I was saying that last time, and that broke. I went into this island and worked the edges over in here. Let's get that image back up. Worked the edges over here where it's darker. This shape up in here a little bit. Not trying to get everything. I'm just allowing this to happen in the drawing. I need a little bit of clarification. Oh, it's darker in here. I'm going to drop that down in there. Oh, these rocks over in here have a slant to them. I'm going to come out in there and work that angle of where the outcropping of the rocks is. I might even go in here and go like in here with this area right in here, which is about in here, and say like, you know what, I'm going to come down in here like this. Right? And that's all I'm going to do. And I'm going to think about how hard I'm pressing down, because it has got a certain value, right? And then it goes across so far. And if I'm off in my shape, I can always go back and rework it, right? But since I have these guidelines down, that's going to help in there, right? So I go in there like that, and I can go like, okay, so there's a little rock in here, and that's darker in there, right? And then there's a little white area there, and then it shoots up in here along that edge, and it gets even darker. So I'm just going to layer this kind of cross-hatching thing happen in there, right in there like that. Then again over in here, these rocks are coming across. So I might go like in here like this, thinking about where they're lighter and darker, right? I might even go in here like this, so I get those marks in there, right? And I can go in here and go boom, 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 up in here a little bit, right? Because it's about the slope of those rocks and how I can see that happening in there. Out in here to an outcropping along that edge, darker down in here, along that edge in there, right? And maybe even do stuff like this so it comes a little bit darker, right? So that starts to develop down in there. Up in here, this area in here, the grass area up in here, I went in with willow, right? And I'm going to do the same thing in here. Through all this, I'm just going to go in with it a little bit, like that, right? Just light in there, right? And it doesn't look like much right now, and it isn't much right now, right? In there. In there, I'm not going to forget about that grassy area. Then I'm going to work it a little bit in here, right? Just gently, lightly go in there. If I lose an edge of the island back in there, I can work back in with the eraser in here to lighten up this back in here, so that that edge of that island pops back out, right? And then I might not just leave it like that, but I'm going to go across in here like this. But willow doesn't, I mean, compress doesn't want to erase. So, and then once again, up in through here with that, right? To define that again. Now I've got that in there, but in here I have that, right? So I have these little rougher marks in there, darker into the lighter areas, and I can see variation in there. So we're going to go in here and just lighten this up in here in spots, right? And there, right there's that. Then I'm going to work this shape up in here. And the same thing with the willow in here, down in here. Like what I did over there, and then just lighten it up a little bit. Boom, in there. All right, so now I got the grass coming back behind the rocks in there. Got the rocks in there. I've got some work in here to do. That feels good. Over in here, I can jump back over into here and go over in here and go in here with the side there. So out of this one pencil, we're getting all these different types of marks, right? Boom, boom, in there. Over in here, maybe put some work in here and say, okay, there's some dark areas in there. Rocks cropping out, some things in there. And then we're going to just put this little bit of rocks in there, bam, like that. So now we can see it's starting to come, right? Come together. Go back up in there. Lighten that some. In there, happy with that. Maybe along this edge here, I'll go a little darker in spots. So that pops. And then the water, they're just, again, directional marks like this. So I'm in here, going in here with my pencil like this, back and forth to build them up, right? I don't need to fill in the whole thing. A little bit of work over in here with that landmass. Let's get that together in here. There. There. It wants to be a little darker, back to the compressed, oh no. But we're just going to use a touch of it, right? And mess with it in there. Right, and then maybe in there. So down in here, we'll just do this. Right? And then that says, what do you call it? Where the water meets the land, in there. And then in here, just go boom, 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 in there. Do something in here, maybe. Building it up. It may not look like much is happening, but it adds to it, right? There. And then in here I can do the same thing. Well, wrong pencil with this guy. And leave it there. Now down in here I got that streak in there, right? So the streak is here, 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 here. It doesn't need to go all the way across. I'm just thinking about what I can do in here. Right? And I'm just going to go in there really quick. So you see how I'm talking about informed decisions and about you guiding yourself, talking through the drawing? There's the drawing right there. That's it. That was about not all that much work, guys. Am I happy with it? Yeah, I'm happy with it, to tell you the truth. It's given me an idea of this. I wanted to draw that for, like, Jesus, 5 years now. Anyway, so there it is, all right? I'm going to be doing more of these, sending them to you. Sorry, the videos have to be in 2 parts. Only can go 8 minutes at a time. That's how it is. All right, guys, and we'll see you Thursday night. Have a good one.